And that information is just a simple how to transfer um, some of the indicators that we use within the academy, which we have been taught to use within our fantastic educational platform called IM Mastery Academy, from the software that we've been provided to also over to TradingView, because a lot of people before they start in the binary option space have a lot of familiarity with TradingView, and so this makes it a very comfortable and natural sort of transition to be able to do that. Plus, it'll give you some other options to be able to analyze a few extra pairs that might not be analyzed, so to speak, by the software that we have currently running. So that's what we're going to do today, folks. We're going to just dive right into that sort of journey, and hopefully get everything up and going, and get people excited about how easy it is to sort of begin the process of trading. So what I'm going to do real quick is share my screen, and we'll go from there. Oh, before I do that, let me just say this, folks. Welcome. If you're looking at it live on Facebook, welcome to my page. If you happen to see this recording later, please just feel free to comment anywhere. Let us know that this is a replay, that you're watching this back on replay, and also let us know if you're getting any value out of this. The other thing is I'm actually going to be pretty focused on the actual training, so I probably won't see very many of the comments live, but please feel free to comment, and I'll make sure that I go back and look at everything and make sure that hopefully you guys are getting some value. With that being said, the other thing is if by some chance you see this shared to you, or you come across it on someone's page that is not mine, okay? One of the things that we are most proud of in our academy is, at least within our team and our organization especially, that's the Randy Webb Legacy Worldwide, that's the Nafis Khan and below that organization. One of the things that we are most proud of is that we want to make sure that whoever referred you to the information gets credit for that referral. So what I don't want you to do is, if you happen to see this on Dinesh's page or Matt Levy's page or someone else's page, I don't want you to come hit me up directly and say, hey, listen, I would love to be a part of your organization with IM Mastery Academy. I want you to go back to the person who you actually got the referral from, because those people are plugged in and they have access to all the same people, all the same training, and all the same leadership that I'm learning from. And so it's awesome for you to have the chance to work directly with them, because we are a team of integrity and a team of character. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody got that? All right, folks, let's go ahead and get this thing going. All right, here, as you can see, TradingView, uh-oh, my alert's going off there. All right. As you can see, TradingView is a sort of a software that is free to be used by anybody who is a trader, okay? So all you got to do is go to tradingview.com. Now, you'll be able to see here that I actually am a pro member, which this basically means is that I pay for my subscription. Now, there's a lot of people who don't pay for their subscription. The subscription is very nominal. It's like $14.95 a month or $30 a month, depending on what size, what kind of indications you want to have, what kind of different alerts you want to set. At one point, I did have the $30 alerts, $30 a month subscription, because I wanted to have the higher amount of alerts that I could set on different pairs. As I began to scale back and realize that I don't have to trade everything, which is like, I think what most new traders do. They want to get in every trade and they want all the information. And I began to find a couple pairs that I fell in love with, that made sense to me, that I could see the movement in the markets. I then went back down to the $14.95 subscription. So you can use TradingView for free, okay? I do recommend personally the subscription, because it's a nominal fee of 14 bucks. 14 bucks is worth it to be able to get the extra indicators. But if you didn't, what you would do is you could just log in and you can create an account right here in this section, and you can create a free account with TradingView and you would be good to go. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that when you first log in, it's got just a whole bunch of information here. What you want to do is probably go in here and type in some type of currency pair. And so what I recommend is that you could just do something like a gold, British pound, Japanese yen, okay, something like that. You go ahead and click, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to take you to a page for that, okay? Now there's all kinds of different charts. There's all different kinds of companies that provide information. You'll notice that there's slight discrepancies in the numbers, okay? Usually not a huge discrepancy, but a slight discrepancy in the numbers. Those are just all the different platforms that measure this stuff. Don't worry too much about that. But what you're going to want to click on is this section right here that says full featured chart. Okay, you notice when I scroll over it, it lights up. Full featured chart, bam, you're going to click on that. Okay. Now what that's going to enable you to do is come to an actual chart. Now, usually before any of this is really set up, if we went ahead and hid these indicators here, hid all of this stuff, I want it to be similar to what yours would look like. You're going to end up coming to something that looks something like this, okay? And this is a line chart used for trading, and obviously it is measuring the price, whether it's moving up, down, etc. Now, most people do not use this chart. They convert to what's called candlesticks, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. This is actually, though, what I started with before I even knew what candlesticks were. I started trading. I couldn't wait. As soon as I signed up for the academy, I spent about 2 or 3 days. I watched maybe the first 10, 12 videos that we had on, I'll say, a 70 video series. I jumped straight in. I came over to this thing, Tradingview, and I started trading on my demo, and literally just watching price move up and down on these sort of line graphs, I was able to catch what's 133 what's called pips on my very first day ever trading. Okay, I had no idea what I was doing. Absolute complete luck. Unfortunately, those 133 pips were in a demo account, but that's all good. It proved to me enough that, hey, listen, I can make this work. You know, they were talking about getting 10 to 20 pips a day. I got 133 pips. I'm gonna be rich, right? That's basically how I felt in my head. And obviously, you know, there came a time where there was a lot bigger learning curve. We realized that there was a little luck involved there. But what I want you to understand is that you don't have to read this. This looks like an EKG machine. This is a little more challenging, and we're going to teach you some things to do the first initial basic steps to your chart. And then we're going to talk about how you can upgrade your chart for HFX. Now, let me just also, I'll pull that up in a second. So a couple things over here on the right, you'll notice that I have all of these pairs that are present, right? All these different GBP, EUR, all this type of stuff. And what that means simply is that I was able to enter a pair there and sort of save it on my watch list, right? So if I wanted to add a symbol, I could come over here and I could put in a different pair. I don't know if I have AUD, CHF or something. I don't know if I have it. Let me see. Let me see what I have. I could put DXY. And if I put that, you notice that it added it to the very bottom of my list, okay? So what this does is this provides currency pairs that I can watch and that I can flip through very easily, okay? So obviously if I wanted to, right now the market is open, so the market is closed, but the crypto market is open. So if I wanted to go to a cryptocurrency, I can click right there on BTC USD, and you see it takes me instantly to that chart. You'll notice that the chart changed because up here in the top left corner, it says Bitcoin versus the US dollar, okay? It will also tell you the symbol for that currency pair, which is BTC, which stands for Bitcoin, and USD, which stands for the US dollar. You'll also see here, there's another XRP, okay? XRP USD, that's another cryptocurrency that I follow. And just depends on what it is that you want. So you can put those symbols in by clicking the plus button here, and then that will allow you to have those symbols so that you can quickly scroll and go to where you want. This is especially important for HFX, right? HFX is time-based, not pip-based. So because binary options is time-based, the faster you can get to your chart, the faster you can make an analysis, the better entry you're more likely to get on that particular position, on that particular trade, and give you a better opportunity to be able to be in profit and win the trade, or what we call clear the trade. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Up here in this top right section where it says watch list, you're going to hit the plus button to add a symbol, and you can add any currency pairs that you like. So for instance, if you are part of our academy and you subscribe to one of our fantastic services led by a gentleman by the name of Matthew Thayer, who we call Matty Pips, he has a strategy that's very, very popular and very, very profitable. Past results don't guarantee future success. We are all adults and we're not making income claims. But Matty Thayer has a strategy called Cash Trap. Now that strategy monitors essentially 5 pairs. Okay, that's what it's built around. You could add those 5 pairs there, but let's just say previous to that, you were like me and you had spent several months focusing on gold, British pound, Japanese yen, and then maybe one other pair like USD, JP, oh, that's on there, USD or EUR, GBP, something like that, right? And those pairs you have a great familiarity with. You can add those 2 pairs, those 2 symbols, and now you will just have basically the things that you would like to be able to trade on Cash Trap that might give you a little extra variety when it comes to trading and give you a few more opportunities to use the strategies that we have present. That's why we wanted to show you this information today. So I hope this is making sense. If you're on with me right now, live on the Zoom, if this is making sense, could you just throw some ones in the chat if we're all clear and we're all good to go so far? That would be extra helpful. And then we'll go. So we've got everything here so far. We understand how to add a symbol. All right. Next thing you need to do is you want to be able to come again and change this line graph back to something that's familiar and that's sort of a standardized trading symbol. And you see, you come down here, you can go to something called candles. Okay, what we call these is candlesticks, and that's just what they're called, right? They look like little candles with a wick, a little body and a wick, a little body and a wick. And so you can then just begin to upgrade and change your candles right there. Okay, just by going from that symbol, the line, to candles. You can also favorite it, right, if you so desire. All right, so that's going to give you a little bit about that. Now, more than likely, your color is set to white, so you probably have a different colored background. You can change your colored background. You notice I switched and I turned it to light. Okay, and this is going to be more similar to what you're going to see on Cash Trap and some of the other software that we have that we use HFX with. So if you like to keep it where it looks the same and so forth, you can do that. I personally prefer the dark background. It's a little easier on my eyes, so I go ahead and I convert it to the dark background. Okay, that's just myself. All right, so that'll give you an idea of how to do that. You can go here to settings, okay, and then you can also alter your appearance. Right now you see it says symbol, okay, symbol. So that is the actual candlestick. So if you wanted to change the candlestick to a different color, say it was easier on your eyes if it was sort of a bright green. You notice how in the background it immediately switched to that bright green color. You can have it as a blue, you can have it as a different green, whatever makes the most sense and is the most pleasing to your eye when you look at the screen, whatever's going to make it pop and make it very clear. You can do that by just clicking on the symbol and then being able to change the color. Okay, you got that? Over here, you can change different things, your status line, your scales. Your scales are over here on the right. Okay, so you can change several of the things there in terms of how it's set up. You can change all those different things there. Come over here to your overall appearance. It's going to tell you what color your text is in and give you some other options. Okay, all of that is right here in the settings tab. It is very easy to get familiar with it, and it is very easy for you to be able to make a determination on what you like and what makes the most sense. Just go ahead and click around on some of those things, and you will be able to set that up relatively easy. So the biggest thing for most people is, do they like the black background? Do they want to get rid of these vertical lines and changing the color of their candlesticks? Those are the things that most people use. So again, come on down here, boom, we go to settings, boom, and you can change different type of stuff. So let's see here. We have vertical lines, all right, they should be blacked out. We could just go ahead and, let's see, change it so that they don't exist. Let's see here. Boom. Right? So you can begin to see, now you can't really see any of the vertical lines at all. You can also do the same with any of those sort of light gray lines that are running through the screen. If you don't like that, you can just change that by, again, going back to settings and then changing to horizontal lines and then just altering that as well by just moving that down. And now you'll notice that your screen is completely devoid of any lines. Okay, so pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys a little basics on TradingView in case you've never used it. This will give you guys just a handle on how to add symbols, how to change colors, how to do the stuff to make it so that it makes the most sense to you. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to remove my indicators, and I'm just going to have a clear chart so that we can begin to look at setting up a chart for our HFX. Okay, I didn't want this training to be too long, and we already gone 25 minutes into this. Okay, so what I want you to be able to do is understand a couple things. You can save different charts. Okay, you can save different charts up here. You can save them as templates. So for instance, let's just we'll do it at the end. We'll switch through a couple different things, and you'll be able to see that I can switch through any chart at any time that I use. So I have an HFX setup. I have a setup where I use different EMA crosses, stuff for US 30, etc. All right, so I have different versions of charts that I can just, again, make it very fast for me to flip between different charts so that I can begin to have the setup that I want. Next thing you're going to want to know is that you're going to want to go over here, and this is to the indicators and strategies section. Okay, indicators and strategies is where we're going to add our indicators. When you click on that little FX, boom, you'll notice a box comes down, and you can search whichever indicator you're looking for, and it will actually pull it up, and you can actually add it to your chart. And we'll do that in a second. So again, this FX section is what we're looking for, indicators, and we'll go from there. Okay, so everybody has it. I'm going to go ahead and switch this color back to light so that it mirrors something very similar to our Cash Trap and some of our other services that we have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up Hourglass. Hourglass is the actual software where we find a strategy like Cash Trap. You'll notice white background. You'll notice all of this jumbling up. All right, and so when we set this up, we're not going to be able to have it set exactly, because we're not going to have the 3 Bollinger Bands that it has here, but it's going to get us really, really close to our setup for our HFX. Okay, it's going to get us very, very close. You won't have 3 bands. You only have 1 probably. You could use another, another band setup if you wanted to try to find the exact band. And the other thing is over here, when we go to our settings here, it's not necessarily, let's see, giving us all of our settings that you need. If you go on, I've heard Matty Pips on one or two of his settings where he's actually mentioned some of the band settings, stuff like that. Okay. Obviously, a lot of that is proprietary to the company, but this is still going to give you some great opportunities to have your chart look very, very similar to what's going on with HFX. So let's go ahead and click over here. Let's go to a regular currency pair, something we would be trading, maybe EUR USD, something like that. Okay, this is one of the pairs that comes with Cash Trap. And so you see it on the screen here. So let's go ahead and start the process of adding some of our settings, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to add a Bollinger Band, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and add Bollinger Bands. And you'll notice that now there's a Bollinger Band that is running on our chart, okay? Bollinger Bands are one of the popular things used for binary options. The reason is because you'll notice when the candlesticks come down and they usually touch or go outside of the band, it usually tends to reverse back in another direction. So this give you an idea that there's a potential trade setup. We've been in a strong sell. We're way outside the band. We had this huge wick, which means price went way down here and then price rejected and came all the way back up. And you'll notice here that the next candle, boom, starts and it begins to move a process up. It came back down, it touched right here, it touched the band again, and then you notice there's a pullback. It came down, it touches the band, there's a pullback. Touches the band, there's a pullback. Also happens on the top side. Touch the band there, pulled back, touch the band here, pulled back. You get the point. So Bollinger Bands are a great indication of us for understanding a reversal, right? A reversal pattern so that we can begin to take advantage of trading HFX, okay? So one of the things you're gonna wanna do is you're probably gonna wanna change your band a little bit. You probably don't want all of this inner stuff going on. So when you do that, you're gonna come to settings, okay? Settings is going to allow you to change the colors of things that are going on under the styles. Over here, you would change the inputs. This is where you can change the bands. If you got the information maybe mentioned on one of the trainings by one of the educators as to what the settings are, you would be able to switch your settings specifically to them, especially because this is live on Facebook. We're not going to do that right now, but that's where you would do it, okay? Second thing here, your upper band. You might want to change it to match something similar to Hourglass. You see the top of this is red. Our upper band is red. So you can always come back here. You go to upper, you can change the color, and then bam, you change that to red. You can then click on the little line or come down on the bottom here where it says thickness. If you like it to be thick and easy to see, bam, you notice how it just changed it in the background, okay? Now, you can do the same thing. You come back here, you click on settings, you go down to the lower band. If we look at Hourglass, our lower band is that greenish or bluish color. They've gone with sort of a greenish color there. If you want it to match, you come down here and you find yourself a similar greenish color that you feel is similar. Go ahead and change the thickness, and then bam, all of a sudden you have your lower band, okay? You can also begin to change where it says basis. That's this line that's going on right in the middle, right? Middle, man, that's a horrible word. The middle, right in the middle. You can change the color of that as well. If you had a white screen, obviously a white background wouldn't work, but if you want to use that or keep it the same, you can change it to whatever color that makes sense to you. And then of course here under our background, we can actually get rid of all of that. We can just pull that back so that, you know, you can change the colors one way or the other. You can get rid of it completely and at 0%, and you can now save this as your default. And now that is your setting for your Bollinger Band for this chart, okay? Now you also notice, really cool thing is that this middle line, this basis line that comes through the middle also acts as a support and resistance, as does the outer bands. So oftentimes you see price move to the middle, and then and then reverse, move to the middle. It broke through, continued, came back down, touched it, reverse, touched it, reverse, touched it, reverse, touched it. So this acts as a support and resistance also, which is also a very good understanding and indicator for you to use when trading HFX. Let's give you an example. We have a 3-pattern engulfing candle right here, 3 candles in a row. This candle strongly pushed through and broke through that band where previously you see it had been rejecting off of it. This would have been a great place to enter when this candle closed, would have been a great place to enter an additional trade in the buy direction so that you would have been able to profit off of that. Same thing here, once price came back down, you see that it all of a sudden used this as a form of support, and every time price touched it, it moved in the other direction, giving you great opportunities and additional confirmations as to what to look for when you're in the market. Okay, so we have our Bollinger Band. I hope this is making sense to everybody. We can now add another indicator. As you see here, we also have a moving average, okay? So you can come over here and you can then go to your indicators here, click indicators, click moving average. You can go here. It should now added one, and you're going to now add or change your settings here. And this you're going to put as a 200 moving average, okay? The style, the color that they use is purple on his, so sort of a purplish color. So you can go there, and again, you can make it thicker, and now you have your moving average running through, okay? Same idea. I noticed that we have a question. Just use that right now, boom, awesome, man. So there you go. Now you have your moving average, okay? So moving averages, short explanation, this is a stronger support and resistance. So if we were to back test this out, you'll notice that on average, it takes a lot of momentum. Look how many times it touched that moving average, reverse, touched that moving average, reverse. It takes a lot of momentum in price to break through. So you notice here you had a momentum that came down. It was fighting. The moving average was acting as support at that point in time. It was holding. We broke support, we retested, then we had a very strong case of momentum in order to break us to the downside. And then from there, we've been to the downside of that moving average, that 200 moving average ever since. So one of the things that you can use in your head is that when price is below your moving average lines, that means in general, we should be looking for sells. And when price is above your moving average, and as a general rule, we should be looking for buys, right? So just to give you a little insight into that. So your moving average is there. Then you have your stochastics and your RSIs. And so all you have to do is come back again to your chart, click here. You can add your stochastic, okay? That is now on your chart. Again, you can adjust this again in your settings. Click on your little wheel, hit your settings, get rid of your background. You don't want that. And now you have your stochastic and your RSI. You can change those numbers. You see our dotted line can change the numbers if you so desire, okay? And then of course, you can come up here and come to your RSI. I've always used that, so I had it standardized, I had it saved. So you just click your RSI, and now you have an RSI also on your page. Again, you can also come to your wheel and get rid of your background, and you can change the colors. You can do anything that you want right there. So as you can see, we now have our stochastic and our RSI. So now we can look at it. We can see, okay, price was above. Okay, price was above here. Boom, came down. We went into a sell. Price had moved up. Boom, came down. We went into a sell. So you can adjust these any way that you want towards any settings that you know from the educators. What I'm teaching you how to do today is really get them on your chart so that you'll be able to understand and see the different possibilities, okay? The other thing you can do is you can also come over here and add some of the indicators from our simple scalper, okay, from our simple scalper, which is a software or a strategy that was put forth by the founder of our academy, Nes Vasquez, and he came up with this simple scalper strategy. And you'll see here, what it also includes is this volume right here. So you can include that, and it also includes the parabolic SARs. Now, in order to have that many indicators on your chart, you're going to have to upgrade to actually the $30 a month subscription to be able to have that many indicators. I will give you a little bit of a secret though, and that secret is that normally once you have paid for a subscription, you can set your indicators up however you want to have it. And then if you cancel that subscription with TradingView, usually your indicators stay on your chart. Now you can no longer, if you take one off, you'll never be able to add it back on, but you can have your indicators on. So there's a little hack, is that you can do that. The other thing is with TradingView, whatever package that you have, if you cancel your subscription, they don't like that. And so what happens is they offer you all kinds of insane discounts in order to maintain your subscription. So where a $30 a month subscription would obviously be $360 a year, if you cancel and say, hey, price was too high, they might hit you with an offer. You say, no, thanks. They're going to hit you with another offer. You might be able to just pay like $90 for the whole year, $60 for the whole year, and you'd have that subscription with them. And it does make a difference for things like how many alerts you can set up and how many different things that you can put into place. So once you were able to do this, this is now a fresh template. Let's go ahead and say we wanted to add, I got Dinesh on here. Let's go ahead and add our parabolic SARs, right? You can actually add that indicator on. You notice these little dots came here. So my package allows me to have 5 indicators at one time on any chart. And so now I have 5 indicators, and I basically have the entirety of the HFX setup on my chart. The only thing I'm missing is the volume bars on the bottom. Okay, so does this make sense to folks? Was this pretty easy to be able to walk through here? You can then change your style, you can change your symbols, you can change your thickness, if you like circles, if you like crosses, whatever it is. Does this make it pretty easy, completely understandable, and makes it so that anybody can have their chart set up? You can change the colors, you can change the thickness if you wanted your dots bigger, smaller, however you want to have them. You can have them set up, and then all you've got to do is come up and save your chart as a template. So you see here it says indicator templates. Right next to here it looks like this. You would just go here and you would click it, and now you can save the template and you would be able to name it. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now because I have enough things on here you can see that I've already named. Okay, but that would allow you to name it, and you would then have that symbol right here. Okay, so let's show you the convenience of that. For those of you who still trade regular Forex, but you want to be able to do your HFX, you can easily just go here and then switch. Boom, now I'm at what I like for US 30. Boom, now I'm back here to an HFX model right here. You see, okay, I'm back to an HFX model here. Boom, now I'm looking at another type of trading pattern here, which is more similar to what goes on with DeLorean Nation. And over here, boom, I'm a different US 30 trading strategy, right? So now I have all these different charts I can move through and make it easy for myself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my background back to my color theme. We'll move it back to dark. And there we go. So now I have all my charts set up. They're ready to go, and it makes it easy to be able to negotiate and go through. Now, why do I think that setting up your HFX chart is so important? Is here's why. Okay, on Liberty and Simple Scalper, you notice you can kind of click here and you can change symbol and you can add different symbols. But if you really kind of like the cash trap model, where you're trading off of this sort of 5-minute candle, and you like the way this sets up, you're having a lot of success with it, you can actually come over here and you can actually now add some additional pairs. So let's just say we came here, we were using our strategy the proper way. We're also monitoring currency strength. And as we're looking at it, we have, let's also go to something like Pocket Options. Pocket Options is a broker that allows you to have a free demo account. So let's just go ahead and look. Don't get blown away, folks. That's a demo account. Don't be nosy anyway. You should be looking at how much money I got in my accounts. All right. So come over here, and you notice over here it actually has over here a percentage. 90%, 92%, whatever, 89%, 87%, 85%, 54%. So if I had my choice, let's just say EUR USD was trading at 54%, and USD JPY was trading at 68%, and the other ones are here at around the 70% or below, okay? And then you go over here and you see, hey, listen, GBP AUD is trading at 89%. The currency strength says that GBP should be dominating AUD, even though in this case it doesn't. It's pretty equal. But you get my point. Now you can come over here and you can actually look for a trade setup. It's not going to give you the arrow indication, but you're going to be able to trade off of your training on the chart and say, bam, here's another entry opportunity. It's paying me out a little better, and it's an opportunity for me to take a trade. All you need is 2 trades a day on HFX and your life has changed. If you take 2 positions of a 2% trade, okay, and you win the trade, that means that you won 3.2% account growth per day. That is all you need. Most people are in here. I see people, I went 28 for 32. I went 14 for 19. Whatever. You need 2 trades a day and your life will change in 6 months. What is the likelihood of you having the ability to smash 2 trades? That means I can look for everything to be right. I can say I was at the top of the band. I was almost up here at the 200 EMA. The PSARs just switched. I can take this. Oh, I got the sell on the volume. I got the crossing down, I can take both of the, man, that's a home run trade. Let me take that, right? Currency strength in my favor. Let me take that. I got 5 or 6 indicators because all I need is 2 trades a day and it will make your job go away. Okay? 2 trades a day and it'll make your job go away over time. Okay? So just wanted you guys to see that and understand that. And so we got this up here. So I hope this made any kind of sense. What I'll do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. So again, we have all of our places we can jump. We have everything that we need. We got all of our charts up and we're ready to rock and roll. So let me go ahead and stop my share real quick. Is anybody have any questions or any comments that's actually in on the session with me live? Feel free and we can go from there. If not, we'll get ready to wrap it up for the day. But anybody have anything? Did you guys learn anything? Some people already knew this, I'm sure, but
that was awesome, Andre. I loved it. It just gives us a way to set up our charts and realize like we can do it over the weekend as our cash trap and things don't work on the weekend. So like it gives you another option to set up your charts and go in the weekend and keep trading, right? So you don't miss out a day. I mean, not saying that you'll miss out a day because the market ain't going anywhere. So but we still have an extra indicator and boom, we're doing it. I was doing it while you were talking and I cleared about 3 trades. Like,
awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've got it set up on my pocket options as well, and I'm just using that right off the thing. And exactly what you were saying, the support resistance bounce off like on the dot.
Well, listen, first of all, it probably had nothing to do with me. It probably had to do with that cool shirt that you have on right now.
Yeah, baby.
That's good right there. It's giving you all the blessings, bro. You can't, it's like you ever play sports, you got that one shirt or that one pair or something that you use and I gotta have that. That's your shirt from now on, man. That's the
I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly.
You're ready to fly. That's it. Anybody else have anything? I think most of you guys might have known this. I know a bunch of you guys on here already did. But for those of you who didn't, hopefully you got some value. If you're watching this again on Facebook, hopefully you were able to get some information and be able to use this to set up your charts. Look, folks, trading is a game changer. I think if we asked anybody on here to talk about how it's changed their life, it absolutely probably has. I can't speak for anybody, but it has for me. And the ability to take these simple skills, it literally took me one session in the academy to learn how to negotiate my Tradingview charts. And then I got a little better on it because I had to flip some things around on my own. And now I have that skill set forever. And it might not mean much to you guys, but how many times before you started learning about trading did you look at a chart on Bloomberg, you looked at a chart on something, and you had no idea what was going on? And because of one session, not only could I look at it, but now I could take the information that I see on these financial services and all this stuff, and I can customize the chart so that it makes sense to me and the understanding that I have of the market. Do you understand how powerful that is? Just in one session. So we got the deal, folks. IM Mastery Academy is teaching people how to use a skill set where they can use it for the rest of their life. They can take it with them if they decide to move to Australia, if they decide to move to Fiji, if they decide to move to China, if they decide to move to Africa, wherever I decide to go with my family, I can now all of a sudden have this skill set that I was able to learn. What an absolute blessing. So that's our session, folks. I hope you guys got some value out of it. And if you did, great. Please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to like and share. Greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to stop streaming this now on Facebook, and we will be done. Ain't it great, folks? Have a great day.